Hello. Charlie. He's a good dog. He's the best dog that I've ever known. He's a good boy. And he loves me so much. But it's like he's not even overly attached to me. It's like the deepest love. Because BB cries when I come home. My mom's dog. She cries when I come home. Charlie doesn't cry. He never cries when I come home. He's very happy, and he wags his tail. And he barks a little bit at first. But it doesn't seem like he's overly attached to me experiencing like emotional trauma when I come in the door. No, he's very happy. He's got the healthiest mind of any dog that I've ever known. He is so happy and smart and loving. I've had dogs all my life. And I love having dogs. Because honestly, they're more loving than humans are. Like, you can't get this intimate with a human. I mean, unless you are in a committed, like, committed is the wrong word because obviously you're going to be devoted to a person like this, but it's just like the relation to sexuality. You have to be sexual with a person that you can get this intimate with. But with the dog, it's not sexual at all. But it's more intimate than humans are with each other. And so owning a dog, and cats don't do this. I mean, they might, but they don't. I don't know. They seem way more independent. Dogs, I don't know, dependent isn't really the word, but they're very interactive. Dogs really want to interact with you emotionally. Cats seem to want to have their own space. And that's the big psychological difference it seems between dogs and cats. But honestly, I think dogs are superior. I just do because dogs are more human. Cats are like they're like pure hunter. Dogs are like buddies. They want to have friends. They want to have a social life. They want to play. Cats seems like everything cats do is about hunting. I don't know. I don't know. It also like historically cats came into our environment whereas we took dogs out of the environment. Cats kind of, well, I've heard people say that cats came to us, but dogs didn't. We made dogs the way that they are. And um, cats cats haven't changed. Cats are just like mooching off of humans. And well, yeah, someone would say, "Do you think dogs are not mooching off of humans?" I think a dog doesn't know that it is mooching off of humans. I think dogs don't are not really aware of that. Dogs are fully immersed in the human uh, social environment, although they are a little bit overly obsessed with food. Uh, but of course, they're animals, so I'm just saying, like, if you're eating food, the dog is right in front of you, staring you down, staring at the food. They can't help it. But of course, I give them some from time to time, so what else does a dog have to do with their time? Nothing's important except for getting some treats and some rubs and stuff. But like what he's doing right now is different. He's not seeking um, satisfaction from me right now. He is perfectly comfortable in that was bad timing. He's perfectly comfortable in a harmony with me right now. See, I'm not rubbing him anymore. Hey there, but do you want me to? Well, of course. But I think he likes it when I just do this. He, it's a very emotional thing. It's not about sensation. It's not about desire at all. There's no desire in this. It's about it's about the harmony of two beings. And that's what real love is. But he's strong too. He's not overly obsessed with me and completely dependent on me. He's very strong. Of course, he's very sad if I leave for a long time. But he can contain himself when I return. Because he's like a super dog. Everyone says this about him too. He's funny because he's so human-like. The only thing he doesn't do is talk. Well, that's a bit of an overstatement. He's still a dog. He doesn't compare to me. Like, he doesn't compare to any human, but his emotions are so obvious, though. Like, you can read his mind very easily. And right now it's saying, I'm in heaven. 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 Yeah. This is nirvana. But you can't really see, his eyes are not closed. Yeah, he's not sleeping. he's in heaven, and it really is nirvana. He really does understand it all right now, because the essential truth of it all is this feeling. It's the experience of this moment. This is the this is the this is the function of the universe. This is what it's all here for. This emotion right here. But nature barely knows this emotion. Even among humans, we barely know this emotion because we're so misled by our desires and our insecurities. But this emotion is the heart of all existence. This is the love of existence itself. And it's kind of a sad thing about it is when I first bought Charlie, I didn't want him because he had a sister that was purely white. It was a pure white Australian Shepherd. And I thought it was very rare, so I wanted to take her. But she was a lot more expensive, so I bought Charlie. She was $2,500. Charlie's was only $550. Still a lot of money, but I spent it back then. That was 7 years ago. He's 7, and yeah, I wanted to get his sister, but I ended up getting him. Now, I would have given his sister just as good of a life, but she's with someone else. And I don't know if that person is giving her as good of a life as I could. For all I know, she might be having an even better life than Charlie. I doubt it, though. Nothing really beats this. If there's a heaven, it is the life of this dog. Of course, it kind of started out a little bit hellish, because I used to be mean to him when I was younger, when he was a baby, because I didn't know what to do. I would get angry because he would poop on the floor or eat his own poop, and I would try to make it go away by being angry at him. And honestly, I think it worked. But it was a tough. There were some tough experiences when he was a puppy, but his life became beautiful, and he became beautiful. He became such a good dog. And it's not that he's obedient. I mean, a lot of people want they think that the best dogs are the ones that listen to every word that you say and do whatever you want them to do. But that's not what I'm valuing in my dogs. Charlie is such a good dog, not because he's obedient, but because he's loving. And it's related to everything. It's related to the human race. It's related to history. It's related to religion. It's related to politics. It's related to, well, I don't know how it's related to science, but it is a science in itself. That is that obedience is worth less than love. And people try to base their existences off of not breaking a set of rules rather than affirmative uh, design of your actions. It's a negative design. Just say don't do these things and you're good. But I don't really see it that way. I think it's not about not doing things, it's about doing things. And so that's why I think Charlie's such a great dog, because he's so loving and happy and fun and genuine, and like the way he is right now. He's so loving and warm. And it's not because he obeys me. It's not because he doesn't break my rules. However, that's a important thing, and he does follow the rules. He never makes a mistake. Not while we're at home. When we go on vacation, like when I took him to my sister's house, he pooped and puked all over the place. He was not happy at my sister's house. He was very unhappy there. But at my dad's house, he was happy immediately. I think it's just that my sister's got some other dogs that are a little bit too much for Charlie. A little bit too much energy. Charlie's a low energy guy. He has been since he was a baby. Very, very quiet, very I mean, he plays. He has fun. But and he barks too, but actually he didn't make a single noise until, well, I shouldn't say that. He didn't bark, I should say. He didn't bark until he was like 2. He's kind of like autistic. He cried when he was a baby, though. But he didn't bark until he was like 2 or 3, maybe. And then he started barking a lot. But it's not that he's quiet, like literally. It's that he's just very calm. He's a very calm dog, and he's very docile and friendly, and he's like sophisticated among dogs because he's not like timid. He's not timid at all. He's very dominant, but very, very friendly at the same time. And not like overly friendly. He's very polite. He doesn't jump on people. BB jumps on people, but Charlie doesn't. Charlie's a very polite dog. He doesn't even jump on me. I don't think Charlie ever jumped on anyone. He's not a jumper. he's always been very well behaved, like even when he was a puppy. I was the one that wasn't well behaved. But I was a puppy too. And we kind of grew up together a little bit. Like, how old was I? That was 2010. So I was 18. Probably the perfect time to get a dog for my own. Uh, because I learned a lot from teaching him. And the things that you learn when training a dog are really important in life. Like they have to do with how you treat people, even, or children, especially. I don't know. I just think that dogs are like an essential part of life, and that's what I think. I mean, you don't get to do this with humans. You don't, because if it's a human, it's some sexual thing. You can't be in a non-sexual relationship that is this intimate with a human. You can do that with dogs. People do it all the time. Can you really do it with cats? I don't know. I don't really think so. Not to this extent. I don't think so. Uh, what about birds? I don't know. That's a different one. Some birds are very dog-like. Like cockatoos. I think they're pretty dog-like. Of course, birds are totally different from dogs and cats. They have a totally different psychology. Dogs, cats, and birds. Those are the big three, really. Fish are kind of like. Of course, dogs and cats are like Democrats and Republicans. Birds are like the Green Party or something. And then fish are the UFO spotters party or something. What are the other? Oh, and then like snakes and reptiles and rats and. Well, of course, you can make a pet out of any animal, really. A lot of them I don't agree with though. I don't like I don't like the fact that people have birds as pets. I really don't like that. I mean, I just said cockatoos are great, but you got to raise them in a certain way, and I just think that keeping a bird in a tiny cage is is a torturous thing. Uh, Birds should have a lot of space to move around. Also, I think that any animals that you have as a pet, I think you should have multiple of them, or else they're gonna have like a kind of existential loneliness if they have no other, like a dog with no other dogs to communicate with. It's a kind of sad configuration. I think there should be at least two. Cats I don't know about. Cats, it seems like cats go find other cats. They don't even worry about the house or like where they live. They just wander around and then sometimes they come back home to eat because they're hunters. But birds, I also think, like most people have cockatoos as singular pets. They don't have multiple of them. There might be a reason for that, but I also think like that would end up being like there would be an innate existential loneliness to being a cockatoo living in some cage in somebody's house without ever seeing any other of your cockatoo friends. I mean, yes, animals are innately racist. They only want to be with members of their own species. I mean, not only they like humans, but I think like there's a necessity for them to be with others of their kind. This is absent in humans, except for racists. But I'm saying necessity wise, it's completely absent in humans. But in animals, it's just a necessary part of their psychology, and I wouldn't feel so good about having one dog, or one bird, or one fish, or of course there are some animals that you can't have multiple of them because they'll kill each other, like betta fish. But like talking about fish and birds, like I said, I don't know if I really support the having them as pets at all. Like if you have a bird as a pet, you need to have a big house to keep it in. A big safe house. And you need to have more than one, I think, bird. Uh, and no cage. Cages are bad. Fish. I think, considering how small a lot of the fish are, it's okay. But I think definitely like a tank under 55 gallons. I had the 55-gallon tank. Even that I think was really small. I would say that a tank under 100 gallons, if the fish are like 3 inches is the maximum in a 100-gallon tank. Even that is really small for a fish. I mean, the thing is that the animals in the wild don't have boundaries. Humans always live in these boundary areas, but animals have wide open spaces, all of them. And so putting an animal in a cage or a aquarium or a terrarium, it it's just it's bad for their psychology and it's hurtful. Like keeping a horse in a stable. Like horses in nature have huge, wide open spaces that they run around in. They don't have like one little spot that they stick in the whole time. I feel like horses are really bad pets. Uh, I mean, I know that horse people love their horses, and they would hate me for saying that, but the fact is that horses require a large area, very large area, and people who own horses, even if they have a big ranch or whatever, like it's never going to be big enough. You need to have a really big area if you're going to have a horse. And a lot of horse owners keep their horses in really small areas, like really small. Sometimes I've seen. I think that people are not considerate enough of the configuration of psychology in nature. Uh, we shouldn't be caging anything. Cages are disgusting on all scales. There's no cage for a creature that I think is appropriate. And yeah, we humans all basically live in cages, but we can escape. There is a difference. I mean, I can jump over these walls if I want. A dog can't do that. So I'm keeping my dog in a cage, but it's big enough. It's big enough for a dog. Which is why I feel bad about moving into an apartment, which I'm probably going to have to do pretty soon. But I just think like it's too small for my dog. This place is such a good size for a dog. And of course I take him out. Like even this isn't good enough. I like to take the dog out on walks. Of course. Not taking your dog on walks is immoral to the dog. I mean, uh, they go crazy over walks. If I said the question to him right now, he would get up and start barking and being obnoxious because he wants to go do that. I can't give him a hint of what I'm talking about because he will get very excited if I say that. And it's really obvious what that means. It means that he's got this energy that he wants to spend, but he doesn't know how to spend it here. But when we go on walks, he runs and he has a lot of fun. He wants to go have fun. He's like bored. It's kind of what boredom is, I guess. You want to spend your energy, but you're stuck in one place. Maybe.